Welcome back, everybody, to the Exit Row. I'm your host, Tom Anderson. This is episode 25, and I'm here all by myself with Justin Moore.
Hey, how we doing? What's going on?
Hey, Justin.
Episode what again?
25.
Wow. Where's Paige at?
Oh, hey, Paige Larson.
Wow, hey guys, that was so enthusiastic.
she
Thanks
is.
for
There she
forgetting
is.
about me.
Well, you know,
Oh, wrong one.
it's
There it
time.
is.
Let's go. Oh,
That's what makes podcasts great. We're learning.
we're still learning. Like
There it is.
20
There
more,
we go.
20 more episodes later, and we're still learning.
Hey, but imagine by the 40th one we'll have it down.
Finally, right?
Right?
Hey, so we've been on a little bit of spring break, not spring break,
Summer
but summer break,
Summer break, yeah.
Yeah, summer. I don't know what season it is.
Words are hard.
I'd say it's that 99 degrees outside. It's frying my brain right now.
Yes,
Valid.
it is hot.
Speaking
Yes.
of brains being fried, what's going on here? Frontier Airlines, we got
Speaking of brains being
a pilot getting arrested, like brought off the aircraft.
Right?
Kind of know what the story is behind it?
Yeah. Yeah, so what did I believe I brought this up to you guys a while back. Or
Yeah,
last week.
Like, just a few days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, what Frontier pilot? This was in Houston, I believe. So I'm
Yeah.
going back on the article now.
I think it was in the comments that someone said
It
what
had nothing to do with alcohol or drugs, believe it or not.
Exactly.
I think it was a domestic issue, is what I saw.
Yeah,
So it was funny because he had his stripes removed. It was really kind of awkward.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He got his stripes removed and everything. Like,
I mean, he was in cuffs. It was kind of weird if you do watch the video. He literally walks to the car like on his own, like not even escorted. Like he's just kind of by himself.
I
It's a
mean,
very awkward situation.
putting a whole new meaning
I
to
thought
Walk of
maybe when I
Shame.
first saw the video without reading any comments, I thought maybe he got arrested for like impersonating a pilot because with
Ooh.
the stripes
Oh,
off.
wow, yeah.
yeah.
I thought maybe he was just like trying to be a pilot. That's what first came to mind before like I read into it.
That would have been interesting how, just thinking about it, like him getting through TSA, I don't think he would have been able to get through.
So yeah, this was going from Houston Intercontinental to Dallas Fort Worth. And obviously it got canceled. But yeah, like I told you guys, that's a new cancellation reason.
Yeah.
Pilot was arrested.
Right.
you got to refund everybody.
But
Like,
that's like, I mean, speaking from someone who's unfortunately been in cuffs, like this has got to be so awkward for the guy. Like, there's no back door to go through. We got to
No.
go down. Like this
Yeah,
is so
no.
awkward for him. Kind of feel for him. Even, no, I don't know what he did. Not gonna read into it. But that's just what a weird, awkward way to go.
yeah.
And someone, and obviously it happened, is going to be there and videotaping it.
Oh, absolutely.
In this day and age of social media and getting those likes and shares
It's
and
funny, I can't remember
viral,
who mentioned
you
it, but
know.
they're like, how many people on that Frontier plane might have thought the cops were coming for them?
Oh,
Like,
God.
going for the pilot, because I was like, well, chances are if you're flying Frontier, there's a good chance 1 in 5 people have a warrant out for their arrest if you're flying Frontier.
That's
You-
true. That's true.
I mean, I did take Frontier earlier this year, and I was questioning my decision to be on that aircraft.
But you know what I
so-
mean? People coming out,
Yeah.
they're like, oh man, they're here for us. Going to the cockpit. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Took a left instead of a right.
Got me today.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like any time that I've ever seen anybody. Have you ever been on an aircraft where somebody's been brought off the aircraft?
No.
Not in cuffs, no. Mm-mm.
Not in cuffs, but you have been on an
I've
aircraft
had,
with somebody?
Like, a disturbance where like before the flight left, someone had to be removed. Like it wasn't anything wild, like not a crazy story or anything, but someone has been removed. Yeah, like non-medical. You know what I mean? Like is what you're
Yeah.
asking. Yeah.
Yeah, because now I mean I've done the medical where somebody had a heart
Oh,
attack
same,
in the
yeah.
middle, and we had to divert to Dublin. or
Dublin.
Yeah,
Dublin.
you mentioned this. I've had a flight turn around. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I've never. I don't think I have experienced
I've
it.
never seen anyone in cuffs on a plane, like getting
Right.
escorted off or anything. How about you, Paige?
I've never had anything crazy happen on a flight. I've had people,
That's not true at all. I feel like
Yeah,
every single time you have it.
not anything
one
like that.
crazy
I've had
thing.
people get a little bit animated or get a little bit upset at flight
You're
attendants,
talking about
but
like this specific scenario, but yeah.
I've never seen anyone get removed.
'Cause I
I've
would argue
never,
you have something crazy happening on every flight you go on.
Exactly.
right, not
We
that
need-
extent crazy, but yes. Like I've never had anyone get removed. I've never had to divert. I've been doing sky donuts on a holding pattern set to divert.
Sky donuts are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about the extent of an in-flight craziness that I've had. Never had any mechanical issues, nothing like.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Now, have you guys ever seen anybody go crazy in the airport?
No.
I feel like yes. I mean, I've not seen anyone go crazy. Obviously, we've all seen weird people.
You're right.
Because people,
Yeah.
people watching at airports, besides the city of Las Vegas, people watching at any airport is like ideal people watching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've seen anyone like legitimately lose their gourd kind of thing. If you,
I've seen people get a little Karen, here and there.
sure, we've all
but
ran into a Karen, but not like obscene, not like the woman on the plane that like, he's not real, that lady.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I've not seen anyone like that personally.
Or like a fight in the airport, like a physical, like people fighting each other, or that person at the Spirit Gate who was fighting the Spirit Gate agent and screaming at each other. Like, yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Have you ever seen anybody miss a flight? Like
Yes.
literally see the.
I was just going to say this. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of was like I was just kind of walking to a gate. I think I was in Denver at the time. Was just going to find my gate, and I just happened to come across. I just looked over and I could tell the guy just missed the door. Like he was just right at the door. He was kind of making a scene. So now that I go back on it, maybe I've seen a guy make a scene, but he was like, just pleading with the person. But like, no, that door does not open.
Right.
That's the only time I've seen that. It was like straight out of a movie. He was like, no. But like, I felt bad for him. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I stared and watched.
Yeah.
I definitely stared.
Oh, that happened to me on my last trip. I was in Minneapolis, and it was that A350 flight that goes from Minneapolis to Detroit every night
Oh,
with
man.
Delta. I just want to do that. It's like a 2-hour flight, like A350 for 2 hours. But yeah, I saw the guy, and it was one of those days when all the flights were getting delayed, everything was happening, and just happened to be affecting Minneapolis that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy just made it, and
Ugh.
they were literally pushing back, and I'm just like, oh God!
So he just missed it. Or did you say make it or missed it?
he missed it.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought you
And
said
so he's like yelling and pleading, and the guy's like, "I'm sorry, man. There's nothing we can do. You're gonna have to go back and try to."
that's deflating too, because the plane's there. I mean, I get the laws and the regulations, but it's so deflating when you can see the
It's
plane.
right there.
Right. Well, that happened when we were in Atlanta coming back from Charlotte, I think. And there was that gate because we were sitting waiting. We were crazy delayed. And those two guys come sprinting up to the gate as the plane is pushing back.
Oh yeah.
And immediately I was like, oh, man. And the look of defeat on their faces as they were walking back.
especially if it's the last flight.
Because you never know what anyone's going through.
Right, yeah.
I've learned going through life, you just don't know what someone else is dealing with. So
Exactly.
who knows why they had to get on that flight?
Yeah.
And it was like at midnight, too. So not many more opportunities, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, not a good time to miss it, regardless. But then you're next day for sure, no matter what.
Right.
That's why it's always better to fly in the morning.
Yeah.
That way you'll never miss it. But then again, you never know. You got something that you have to do
Exactly.
or whatnot. So, it's been a crazy week.
Never judge a book by its cover, even how weird that book might look.
Exactly.
I still want to see somebody pull the Jim Carrey. It's okay. I'm a limo driver. And just
Yes.
I want to see that so badly.
Chasing after Mary. Absolutely. I'll
Oh.
always think of that. Like whenever I see like a random door, like a jet bridge door that doesn't have a jet bridge connected to it, I always think of Jim Carrey just flying out of it.
Right.
I mean,
Or sometimes actually I think I did this one day where I was at the People Mover,
oh, the
People
PM.
Mover, and I looked out and I'm like, "Goodbye, my love."
Oh, my God.
Goodbye, my love. Yes. I mean, I think we've all said that at an airport at one point, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
that or you see that the escalator and you see somebody had dropped their bag for a second and you just go, "I gotta go get it."
Mary.
Samsonite.
What a movie, by the way. What a movie.
So good.
That's a movie that I can sit down and I'll watch at any point in the day, at any time. I will sit and watch that.
It's a good one.
A good one. It's
classic.
legendary, man. Absolutely. My humor was shaped around that movie, I feel like.
That's the better Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah, he's definitely a hit on that one.
There you go.
Paige, have you seen Dumb and Dumber? I feel like the
No.
way you're not talking.
Oh.
Whoa. Leave.
Oh.
Get.
She's
I
fired.
refuse.
Wait.
It has
What?
It has an airport in there.
No, I refuse to get out
Oh.
because he's all like, get out.
You
No.
haven't seen Dumb and Dumber? I think you gotta go. You with me?
So how revolved around aviation is it, though?
It's only the first.
It's not revolved around aviation like at all.
Okay. So I don't deserve to be fired then.
It's only.
I mean, Dumb and Dumber is pretty.
But you know what? It was before she was born, so you. Oh.
Yeah, and I was also a baby when it came out. That doesn't mean I haven't not seen it. I don't know. Paige, work on that Adama. Work with her. Make sure she sees it soon.
We're watching one of the Jim Carrey movies.
Truman Show.
Yeah, he's only been in like 1,000 movies.
That's true. That's
Truman Show, by the way, love that movie.
Thank you.
That movie freaks me out.
It's a good movie.
Oh, it's awesome.
and,
dude.
and and I used to live right near Seaside where that movie was filmed.
yeah, I've gone to the filming site as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We went out of our way to go there
Right there on
because I love Truman Show.
it's right there on
'Cause
30A.
That movie makes me. That's a thinker, man. That's a real thinker.
Yeah, because you
Absolutely.
wonder like
I still to this day,
Is
part of
my
my
life.
life believes that everything is choreographed.
Like-
You two right now.
we're literally videoing for maybe the Truman Show. People
Right.
are watching
I
us.
don't even like think about it because it does freak me out still. But no, the Truman Show is a quiet like top 5 movie for me, to be honest.
It's a good movie. Okay.
So you've
Alright.
seen that page?
we're just starting it.
You're just
So we're not that far into it,
what do
but
you
so
watch
far
in,
so
like, 10
good.
minute-
I
what do you
mean,
do 10-minute increments. What are you guys doing?
well, it was late. so-
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Gotta finish SummerSlam. So
A lot going on that day, this weekend.
yeah, if for those who don't know, we are wrestling fans, all three of us. We actually last time we saw each other, we were at a WWE taping event.
Yeah.
We were watching SmackDown
Taping event.
taping
You can
event.
say we are at SmackDown. I think that's how you say it.
It was a double live SmackDown event.
at a taping event. That was a weird.
Yeah,
way
that
to
was
say it.
cool.
Live taping.
That was sweet.
Yeah. Let's talk about Southwest Airlines.
Ugh,
All right, well,
yes,
I guess we'll let
please.
Paige talk.
Finally,
Paige, that's your cue. We'll let you take over here.
they making them changes. Paige,
So I think we can all probably realize what we're about to talk about. Southwest, and after I think I've mentioned this in quite a few podcasts now.
What the
Wanting-
word Southwest for sure.
yes,
Oh,
you say
definitely.
Southwest at least once
Paige
every
had a word
podcast.
cloud. If Paige had a word cloud, Southwest would be like the biggest word,
It
Ooh,
would
you
be.
know, I could.
along with the two BBs.
You can put that on a BB, yes, and put that on a button.
like Paige's most commonly used words.
BB, cute plain face.
I really could actually get that figured out. There's
I know.
I bet you
Yeah, me too.
could.
because AI is like everywhere now. It helps.
Yeah.
Okay, so Southwest, what's up?
So they are
ch-
offering.
wait.
Get ready for it.
Did they change their name to Northeast?
No.
Okay.
No.
Might as well change their name. I mean, they're basically going to be a new airline.
Yeah, they are definitely different.
I mean, they are the charter for the SEC now, so
Well, they're a sponsor. They're not necessarily the charter. They're a sponsor.
yeah.
Let's go SEC.
And so get ready for it, everyone. They are going to be bringing into play seat selection.
I wonder if anyone here listening to this podcast right now is actually just learning this for the first time.
Right.
We're the ones breaking the news.
Woo, Southwest. I am happy about it. There's a lot of people that are not happy about it. And to be perfectly honest, I think a lot of people maybe just are afraid of change because a lot of the people who are disagreeing with it, I've been noticing, have been saying, oh, this is just how it's always been. And, you know, this is just unique.
Well, it's not always what
I don't
they've
think it's that
been.
they're scared of change. I mean, it's just that people fly Southwest for the reasons that they're not going to be anymore. Like, there's a reason.
Yeah.
People like Southwest. It's not that, I wouldn't say it's that they're afraid of change. Like, the majority is just that people flew Southwest for the reasons that they are. You
Yeah.
know? People like that, yeah.
Well, and the big issue now, and Adama, you experienced this with Southwest, is the pre-boarding has gotten crazy out of hand. Like, somehow Southwest flights must work miracles because people get on a flight in a wheelchair and can walk off perfectly after the flight is over. So,
On an eclipse flights, right? Specifically. eclipse
Solar
flights.
Yeah.
eclipse flights. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Or remember. Yeah, whatever.
so yeah, and then something I've experienced lately, which never used to be the case, I can't get good boarding unless I do.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, you don't have to remind me.
You literally just brought it up. So you kind of walked right into that one.
But unless though, I get early bird check-in. And that's the only way I can get A or B boarding. If you don't do early bird check-in and it doesn't matter what flight anymore, you're going to get C, guaranteed. So everybody's doing early bird or pre-boarding when they shouldn't be. And it's just kind of gotten to be a mess. And I know A-list flyer Chris does a lot with the technicalities and board meetings with Southwest, and the way things have gone downhill with their boarding process lately has just not been good. So hopefully this will
He's on the board? What did you say? He's on the board with Southwest?
some sort of board. And I'm not sure if it's for being like
didn't know
A-list. It's not like I don't know what the official name for it is. I'd have to ask him again.
I didn't know that. Wow.
But he was part of some meetings that kind of people were
I didn't know- I
talking
didn't know
about
he was,
some
like,
of those.
official. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty fancy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I don't know how official the meetings are, but they were pretty, I mean, kind of official, I guess, because it was legitimate information. So he kind of just said that the boarding
Could Southwest
process,
do any wrong in your eyes? Could they have done anything and Paige would be like, love it?
They're like,
Oof.
charge us $5 for the bathroom. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
'cause,
okay,
I mean,
guys.
In Paige's eyes, they're Southwest. You literally have said on this podcast they can't do any wrong. You've literally said that word for word. What if they changed their name to West South and then changed their plans to like Red? Like, you'd
I
still be
wouldn't
on
mind
board?
red. I mean, a red plane would be kind of cool.
And
We
then
don't see that often.
And then instead of state liveries, they did like Satan one. And,
No.
I mean, they did have Shamu. Shamu one.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I may have went a little bit extra. Just saying.
But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this because I'm hoping it's not going to be some crazy seat fee like $50 one way or something like that to choose your seat. Like something more manageable, like $20 per way. I won't have a problem with that. So
Or see, I mean, okay, so one way, because most of the time with Southwest, you're usually taking 2 flights, right? You're not usually going direct somewhere.
yeah, so one way that would entail both the flights.
So there you go. Like that could end up being, if they do it per flight, now they're really finding a way to make money.
And that's what I'm hoping isn't going to be the case. Or, so early bird checking kind of works where it has a price range. And so that's where the cheaper prices will sometimes be for the one flights. And then so maybe it's maybe it's $15 for Omaha to Denver. But if you do Omaha to Denver to LAX, maybe it's $25. So it's not completely doubling it, you know?
It'll be weird seeing red eye flights.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah, they're doing red eye flights too. So
Not like a ton, but just in general, it'd be weird seeing one, you know?
yeah,
It'll be really weird seeing them fly at night. Like over.
Oh, yeah.
Like overnight, I mean, yeah.
coming to Omaha overnight. They arrive at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You
Omaha's
take
not
off
one of the destinations yet, but
2 or 3.
possible, yeah.
Terrible.
I think it'll be great for them, though. I think hopefully it's all going to be great for them. So, and then the other concern, obviously, is what benefits is this going to bring for A-list flyers? Because they get, of course, A-list preferred boarding. So, you know, what kind of benefits are they going to roll out new for A-list? And then,
Oh, yeah.
you know, card,
So when it literally doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, what does this mean?
right.
Yep.
And then card holders like me who get a certain amount of early bird check-ins free per year, you know, are we going to get free select a seat, you know, so many per year?
Do we know, are there still going to be 2 bags? Do we know the bag thing, or is that yet to come?
Bag policy is still going to remain the same.
Is that for sure, or is it? Because I
Yeah.
know there's a lot more details to come. Like we've just seen the generals right now.
For right now, that's what I read was
Right.
that
I doubt that stays the same. I can't see that staying the same. Like that's just such an easy money grab.
everybody's making money
know.
off of that. Like, I can understand one free
I
bag,
mean, I love Southwest for that, but there's no way that stays. Like,
but
that's
if
no
they're
way
going to dramatically change, then why not? And I think part of this also has to do with, besides the fact that the airline got, you know, new investors and whatnot, I think this possibly a little bit has something to do with the Department of Transportation having that better pricing policy that for the consumer. So right now we just saw, like, I don't know if you knew, but like Spirit just released a 4-tier system now.
Oh, yeah.
So that way you know exactly what you're getting when you buy a ticket. Same with Frontier. I think they did the same. All the low cost carriers are now introducing a tiered system now, and so maybe this is something that kind of pushed Southwest. Like, hey, it's time to make it not so chaotic on an aircraft. But they're like I like try to look real quick about 5 minutes ago, like looking to see, does any other airline do exactly what Southwest does with open seat policy? No.
No.
Well, there are airlines that do like open seat policy. Like Denver Air Connection does it. Like I thought Frontier was an open seat policy.
No.
Am I not wrong? I
No,
thought more
no,
like
no.
used to be.
You can
No,
select.
you get assigned seating.
Gotcha. There's definitely
So-
airlines out there like I don't know why that came to mind, but Denver Air Connection, no seat assignments.
There you go. Okay. Well, and I guess
But in terms of like major airlines, no.
right.
Yes, major like Yes.
So boutique. When I took boutique, they told me where to seat. They're like, okay, because of weight and balance. You know, you get 8 aircraft or 8 people on an aircraft. They're like, you're gonna sit here. You're gonna sit here. You're gonna sit here. Okay, that's cool.
I will say, like,
Wild.
because I'm going to have to make it a point to fly Southwest at least one more time before these changes, because there was something, at least try to be in the first group, because there was always something cool about being that first, like, 20 people on the plane and you could sit anywhere.
Yes.
I will say, I will miss that. Like, that was the coolest feeling in the world. You're like, I can sit anywhere.
You
Like,
felt
I
like a
remember,
kid,
like,
right?
I remember,
That
like,
is
I remember,
nice.
like, one of my first times ever flying Southwest. It felt so wrong. I was like, I can sit here? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, but I can sit here. I can sit there. I can sit here. I can sit there. I will say there nothing beat that feeling like than being one of the first 10 people on board and the whole plane is I can sit anywhere.
Yeah.
Literally
Right.
anywhere. That was always a cool feeling. I will miss that.
Yeah, I think I got.
I think you can all agree. Isn't that a cool feeling? when
Oh
you're like,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
It was like a weird natural high. You're like, whoa, the whole plane is open. I could sit there.
Right.
I could sit here. That's cool.
You guys should go fly the E4B. I could sit anywhere.
Oh, here we go. Mayock Smayock.
No doubt.
Anyways,
Hey, did you know Adama flew the E4B? Like, what the
I
heck?
did not fly
I
it.
only heard that once or twice.
flew
Not
on
many
it.
other times. You know.
Right.
You know what Southwest does need to do to bring in more profit is they need to bring back that airline show.
Yes. Oh, I
Ooh,
love
good call
that.
there, good call.
That would be great. Talking about Karen's about earlier, what we were talking about. That's a great show for
Oh, yeah.
Karenism.
That would be legendary if they did that.
I'd love to see that.
First time I watched that show, I remember eating sushi. So now that's just my sushi go-to show is watching that.
Sushi and Karen's.
Yep.
Airline Karen's. Okay.
Sushi and airline Karens.
One more topic before we go to a break. Let's talk about Delta Airlines. Let's just talk about
Oof.
CrowdStrike and that whole debacle that happened.
Talk about it.
Southwest actually did well.
They pulled through. Yeah.
Yeah.
for
they-
for
Shout out
once.
BB.
For once, they made it.
Whoever
Made
made that
through it.
decision to not go with CrowdStrike back in the day, well done.
They did a great job, but it affected everybody. It affected a lot of airlines over in Europe. It affected here in America.
The world,
obviously.
literally. Affected people working that have nothing to do with anything. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, people who weren't in the airline industry.
I mean, the airline industry was one small aspect of it. Like, we're talking the world. Like,
Yeah.
the airline industry was like one very small aspect of this. But as an aviation podcast, we're going to cover that part.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Eric Jet Set Shirts asked me what I thought about the whole thing.
Why would he ask you what you think about Delta? Oh, that's right. You're Delta.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm Delta. You know, there you go.
Yeah.
So, and boy, did Delta miss the boat on this one. Like,
Well, it also wasn't their fault. I mean, like, yeah,
it wasn't their fault, but in the
the recovery was their fault.
yes.
The initial
Yeah, that
problem-
was a little
The
messy.
initial problem was not their fault. The recovery is what needs to be talked about.
Correct. So like they should have had a better emergency operations center like to help them get through this situation and just
To be clear, this was worst case scenario. It really was.
yeah, but their public relations part was just bad. The CEO, all right, went to the Olympics in the middle of this debacle and just said,
Delta
"You know what?
sponsor?
You know, I'm just going to leave." Yeah, exactly.
He's running away from his problems, literally.
He
When also being sponsor of the Olympics, that was probably already planned. But
yeah, but
Yeah.
he could have stayed back and could have sent some other representation. We
No,
do
the CEO is
this.
gonna
We
go
do
to
this
the
with
Olympics anyway.
politicians all the time. We do this with other companies that they'll send somebody else if there's an emergency that needs to be taken care of back home.
I understand.
So, Delta CEO that's just terrible. I would just grade that. That's just not smart at all. So you got tons of people who are stuck in Atlanta. Unfortunately, this is a problem
Yeah.
when you're stuck in Atlanta, especially since some of their terminals are very smaller. But the whole trying to credit everybody only $120 or $120 worth of Sky Miles, which there's a lot of people who are like, why are you giving me Sky Miles when I just don't want to ever fly your airline ever again? They now just said that they're going to give 2 free slots to their employees to go have flights. You know, it's just like they did not do a good job, and people were just stuck trying to get compensation for hotels, trying to get compensation for cars, trying to get compensation for food, and just they unfortunately were the worst out of the big three when it comes to the American.
I can't imagine the Delta Airport employees trying to manage that mayhem.
Well, see, because you mentioned the hotels and like there was a ripple effect. Again, this wasn't just the airline industry, so everyone struggled communicating with each other.
Yeah.
So like you're trying
Yeah.
to get someone hotels, you couldn't talk to hotels because all computers were down. Like it was yes.
Yeah, and then again, and then also in Atlanta, everybody was stuck there, so everybody was trying to get booked hotels that were just
Any
Yeah.
other airport that Delta flies out of, literally that
Yeah.
day.
Atlanta had the worst, unfortunately.
Well, naturally, they're hub,
obviously,
but of course, yeah.
but it just they missed the mark on this one. And what would I have done though?
Yeah, see,
I don't know.
If they missed the mark, then what would you have changed? It's easy to say you did wrong, but then what would you have done?
Yeah,
Not go to Paris? I mean, sure.
I wouldn't have gone. Yeah, for once,
But see, as a
I
Delta
wouldn't go to.
CEO, I disagree with you there. He should have going to Paris. That was probably already planned, and he can also deal with things over there. Nothing was going to change from him staying here. That's just my opinion. But
I mean, I guess I'm not in charge of a corporation or a company, so I
and,
don't.
and you are the head sponsor of the Olympics, the biggest event in the world at the moment.
Yes.
Not going to make an appearance.
But again, somebody else can
Yeah,
go.
that's
You can also
So-
deal with what he was going to deal
So-
with here. He can deal with there.
The way I look at it is, if the president has to deal with something at home, he sends somebody else to go deal with something, like if he's on a public relations trip overseas or something like that.
Well, yeah, but of course, context is very key here, depending on what this issue is. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't
my
know.
My point is saying he can deal with what he was going to deal with here, there.
It's tough being pulled in
Yeah, and
two
it's really
extreme
easy to bag on them now.
directions,
And I
yeah.
agree. I don't think everything they did was right, but at the same time, they were put in an awful situation. Like they were literally at the mercy. And like this just goes to show like how much we really rely on technology.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of scary how much we rely on technology these days. Because like forget the airlines, hospitals were down. Like I mean, it was
And that's scary.
insanely
Did
bad.
anything happen to Werner?
No, ironically, we were just fine.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We keep America moving, buddy. Ironically, we do. I mean, we had Microsoft, but we do not use CrowdStrike, so that was a big reason why we didn't have issues. Is because we don't utilize CrowdStrike. So, which is, I mean, if you didn't utilize CrowdStrike, you probably weren't having issues.
Right.
But a lot of people do. A lot of people found out the word CrowdStrike for the first time.
Yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
I never knew.
In an unfortunate
And
way.
you probably didn't know what it was until
Not really,
Yeah,
no.
Exactly.
She's like, "Oh, Southwest is still on Windows 95." Okay, it works
Yay,
out.
swa.
But no, I mean, yeah, kind of a disaster. But at the same time, we kind of hopefully you do learn from this. You know, kind of like with the Southwest system, hopefully they learned from it.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is kind of a once in a generation thing. You know, like they argued, was this Y2K? Was this actually what would have happened at Y2K, but it was just happening now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a disaster. I agree. And I'm not saying I have any solutions, but it just shows how scary it is when things go down and we are all at the mercy.
And you just rely
yeah.
on that schedule being 100%, and then when it breaks, and it breaks hard, it took them 5, 6, 7 days to recover.
Yeah.
So it just,
Yeah, that's rough.
you have a lot of people you're in charge of. That's a lot of money they're going to lose. So, and now they're both suing each other. So it's be interesting to see what happens there. So, all right. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back right after
BRB.
this.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the exit row.
We are
More
back.
sports with Justin.
Oh, is that where
More sports, more sports, more.
No, see, that's just a ripoff of Paige's polls.
More sports. but I like made it extra, a little extra. Here, hold on. More sports. This is more sports. More sports with Justin.
That was
All
cute.
right, so anyway, I'm going to get started here. Good job, Donna. Good job. You're so creative.
There you go.
You need to record that.
Get you a deal.
Right? Capital
So
Records.
just had a sports note. We were just talking about it off air. It just made me think about we should bring it up on the pod. Why not? So what it was Liverpool FC and Manchester City.
United.
Manchester United.
Manchester United. Sorry, resident soccer person. Adama here. I'm resident baseball person. You're resident soccer person.
Absolutely.
I'm resident. I love sports.
Pages, whatever we're watching at the time. If Adama's soccer, she's soccer. So anyway, there were two. So they were doing their preseason U.S. tour, I suppose.
Correct.
And the reason this is of note is because they were taking chartered passenger Atlas Air 747s.
Beauties.
There's like two of them. I think there's only actually 2 or 3 of them, like total, like passenger Atlas Airs.
Oh, wow.
So that's why it is actually pretty cool. One of them actually owned and operated by the Miami Dolphins. As we
Miami
know.
Dolphins,
They have that
yep.
Great YouTube video out there if you haven't seen it, because I think we've mentioned that before.
Yes.
But so they were taking them each. So it was Liverpool and Manchester City, and they were flying like literally right back to back of each other. They're originally in LA. You said that you caught them on the Airline
On
Video's
AVL,
live
yep.
stream. They left LA, went to Columbia, not the country, South Carolina, because apparently
Yes.
that's needed to be noted. And then they both flew to Manchester, literally right behind each other. Is like number 1 and 2 tracked on flight radar. It's kind of cool.
Oh wow.
But anyway, it's a very brief sports report. Yeah, there you go.
I would like to correct you. Did say Manchester City. It was Manchester United. The second time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Just gotta be very correct here on this podcast. 'Cause
get it.
so many people are listening and fact checking us.
Right.
So-
There's one right here.
True.
Speaking of Manchester City, there was a story recently from Holland, who's a
Oh,
really
okay.
Yeah.
great
Since it's
player.
still sports related, let me talk.
Nope.
Back off.
I'm
Back off.
sorry.
This is
Heck
the
off,
God.
Adama. Jeez.
This is the more sports, man. Hello.
Yeah.
What the heck?
But so we're gonna talk a little raw dogging,
Oh yeah.
and you heard that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, have you guys ever raw dogged?
So there's a flight. Don't ask questions you don't want to answer.
don't.
See, this is why we were wondering if we should even bring this up. Because first off, there are going to be people out there wondering what we really are talking about.
Yes.
But we're gonna explain.
So it's a latest trend. Well, kind of. There is a latest trend that's called raw dogging in flights. Like doesn't have to be. It's generally long haul flights is what this is, and you have what? No entertainment.
No entertainment.
No entertainment is how we would just generally describe it.
Like
You're literally doing the bare bones and having nothing available to use. Basically, a flight map. If that's about the only thing you can use.
yes.
That's the only
Flight
thing
map
allowed.
counts,
That's
yeah.
the only thing that's
Flight
allowed,
tracking.
I should say.
You're literally looking at the flight map. Yep.
Which is what we've been doing before it was even cool.
Right?
I didn't know this was a trend. I thought this was a trend before. But unfortunately, it's been tapped with the term raw dog, which
Yeah.
is controversial,
Very cool.
in my opinion. But I don't know how you feeling about it, literally.
I personally don't think. Actually, hold on. If I think about it,
Holding.
Holding more.
I'm just thinking about being on the E4B. You could almost say that you could raw dog on the E4B for quite a while.
So what about your flights back from the Middle East though? On the C-17? Was it?
Yeah, there you go. On a C-17, literally you could raw dog. You have nothing to look at getting on an aircraft. So
Yeah, what did you do?
I don't want to talk about it because we had human remains on the aircraft.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
Well, good job, Paige.
you're very quiet. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Awkward.
But yeah, so yeah, I guess I could say I've done the raw dogging.
Ooh, so Adama's done it.
I'm a raw dogger.
I mean, in all honesty, aviation related, we all have.
Right.
We all have.
Yeah.
Especially
Whether we know it or not, I think that's just what we naturally do. We're natural raw doggers,
yeah.
Yeah.
right?
I think so.
We can be. We don't. Sometimes we don't have to be, but if we have to, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
And like I was telling you both, I think the ultimate raw dogging is doing everything in the middle of the aircraft on a wide body.
Yeah.
And you can't even look out the window. Like your middle seat. Like I think that's the ultimate raw dog.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So
Forced raw dog,
Yeah.
so does raw dogging
non-consensual raw dog.
Okay.
Oh. So raw dogging could looking out the window be acceptable?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It is, but I think the ultimate
It's
is
all about the entertainment. That's to me, it's the entertainment that's
Yeah.
at your hands.
It's the level of raw dog that you're doing.
it's
Yeah, but looking out
Different
the window,
levels of
looking
raw
out the
dog.
window to me is allowed because it's more about the internet entertainment and electronics that are
IFE, yeah.
Yeah, the electronics in general, your phone included. Yeah,
and your watch. Your watch will beep at you. Can't look at it. If you have a smartwatch.
phone's got to go in the bag.
Everything.
Yep.
Ultimate raw dog. So yeah.
Let's get off this topic.
Raw dog, yeah.
Let's get off this topic before we get in trouble.
Let's get out of this one. All right, so let's transition.
Before we get canceled.
Paige,
It's
real
fine.
quick before your time, let's talk about Feedy Boy.
Oh wow.
Now,
Yep.
somebody sent it to you. Who do you remember who sent it to you? Where they Googled
Yeah, A-list flyer Chris.
A-list flyer Chris.
He's been a hot topic on this pod.
Yeah, well, because he posted, he saw not a FedEx feedy, but the Cessna Caravan. He saw one taxiing by. He wanted to make sure he spelt Feedy Boy right, so it's FeedyBoi.
Duh.
And so he Googled that, though, to make sure that he spelt it right. And the very top thing, when you Google that, it has that new AI pop up or whatever, the very first thing it said, Feedy Boy may may refer to Paige Larson, and then it has one of my posts of Feedy Boy right below it on Instagram and a link to it. So, proud moment, honestly. I scream laughed when I saw that because it was
LOL.
literal LOL. Yes,
So
and
you're famous.
Yeah, if you didn't
Yes.
know, Paige is our resident famous person.
You're famous AI-wise. It tells you how scary AI can be, though.
I know.
It can be.
and that's fairly recent because I've Googled it too just to
You've
see what the
Googled
heck
yours-
would happen.
Google yourself?
No, I Googled Feedy Boy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And
So-
it was a bunch of ridiculousness. But now it comes up with me and it makes my heart so happy, honestly.
You're
It
gonna
was awesome. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
break the internet with the Small Plane Sunday as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's change gears. Continuing with Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's polls.
Polls.
Nice addition there.
It's a remix, right?
Nice addition.
I know. I wasn't prepared for that. I was like, oh, that's something new.
There you go.
Nice addition with the stutter. Like it.
Right? That's a little bit of spice. All right. So throwing it back to earlier in the podcast. Thoughts on the news from Southwest. Love it. Definitely don't love it. Why or why not?
Yeah, see, you gave no room for error. It was either you love it or you don't, and I didn't like the
You didn't like it. I know. I know.
options. Either love it or hate it. That can't be the only two options. Come on.
Yeah, we'll work on it. But anyways, this was very close. Love it, 56%. Definitely don't love it, 44%, with a vote of 9-7. But I also want to throw in this honorable mention that Noel Phillips actually voted on both my polls this time.
So Paige is happy.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah. So some responses we had: Doggos and Catos 164. You also don't have to pay extra for the first row or emergency exit seats, or you didn't have to. So now, things you'll have to pay extra for that you typically would on any other airline. They also said it was nice to be able to pick whatever seat you want before you got to the plane, or when you got on the plane, not before.
Yep.
Almost
that's-
you're in the sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jet Set Shirt says depends on whether seat selection costs less than early bird. That is something I did brought up that I was a little bit concerned about, what a price is going to look like. 801 Ramper said people have abused the open seating policy, not actually needing a wheelchair to get on. Facts. You would know about that.
Facts.
Hgrief _ you don't have to worry about checking in exactly 24 hours before flight time anymore. That's nice.
Less stressful. But again, if you had the pre-board check or
It
the
takes
early
all the way
bird
to
check,
unnecessary tension and stress.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember when back in the day you couldn't even use your phone. You had to get on the internet.
It was like buying tickets to an event, like standing in a waiting room line, a virtual waiting room.
Right. All right. So that's it for that one.
Poll number 1 complete.
Complete for poll number 1. Poll number 2 is kind of an add-on to poll number 1. Will you be more inclined to fly Southwest in the future? Yes, no,
Meaning
maybe.
after the changes.
Yes. So yes, no, and maybe. Yes, 1 at 52%, maybe 30%, no 17%, with a vote of 12-4-7.
Keep
Okay.
talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Let's hear from the listeners.
So no responses on that one.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
just a poll. It was just a poll.
Yeah.
You just poll. Okay.
Yeah.
So more inclined. Would you be more inclined to fly? You're going to be more inclined.
I
There's
mean,
no
yeah,
answer
it's
to
not-
that
Like
one.
we've mentioned earlier, they
Yeah.
can't do any wrong in her eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southwest is so cute. I mean, you can't even deny
I'll
it.
admit, like, I'm less inclined to fly them because, like, I flew them for the reasons that they are now. I'll be honest, yeah, because I know they're gonna lose a number of flyers no matter what. They're gonna gain and lose, like that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was one who, like, I flew Southwest for why they are what they are now. You know, I liked the open seating policy. That was me personally. I liked it. Obviously, the chaos was not loved, but but
Yeah.
to me, there's pros and cons. I liked the open. It was worth the open seating, my opinion.
Yeah.
And it was just cheap flights. Some of those cheap flights might not be as cheap as they were before. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, they're starting to not be cheap in some markets. You know, it just depends on the route you're taking sometimes. They're
Yeah.
not always the cheapest. So
I'm not necessarily less inclined, but you know,
You know, I used to not mind the open seating so much, and I did like it. But in the last year, it's really gone downhill, and It just seems like I can't get a good boarding position. I mean, even sometimes when you do early bird, you can get mid to high Bs because
So if you're flying with me and Adama, we'd definitely be before you.
oh,
Thank you.
stop it!
Thank you. Yep.
Y'all need to stop it.
Yeah, we will actually by not flying south.
By not flying. Yeah.
We actually will stop that.
I thought you liked it.
No,
No,
I don't.
When has Adama ever
Southwest?
said he's loved Southwest?
I like.
no,
literally
the new,
their
the new
snack.
change.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I like it, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be more inclined
That's
to
what I'm saying about the
take it.
options. Is just because we like it doesn't mean we love it.
You think I want to get their little snack attack, their little all wheat?
they're
snack attack?
underrated. I love their snack
That was the only
attack
thing
packs.
That was the only thing I was getting at with the answers. Is like I can like it, but in your poll that means I love it, and that's not true.
Yeah, so it's unique to Southwest, and so yeah, I'm kind of like
I'd be
Okay.
more on board if they changed their name to West South. Then I'm on board.
Oh Lord.
that. You know what? That's better because there was a Northeast Airlines that was bought out by Delta. I know this because I'm taking some classes right now, and I literally had to do a whole paper on Delta, and so they bought
When I
Northeast.
was at AvGeek, yeah, just know that in general. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that was really,
Northwest.
um,
But yeah, in this case, Northeast. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm not really inclined to go buy or fly them more because again the experience that I get with other airlines.
So would you say you're less inclined, or you just stay the same?
I think I'm just gonna stay the same.
That's
If,
kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
if it's going to be cheaper, I might take them, but it also depends. Like, are they going to be more direct than Delta? Are they going to be more direct than
Yeah.
whatever? So they sometimes are more direct because they have different routes
Different
from here
hubs, yep.
to like Phoenix, right? So, yeah, we will see about that. But yeah, I'm just meh. That's okay.
Just meh.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay.
just interesting. Like again, yeah, like that was their shtick. Their shtick.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna miss going on being at least one of the first ones on the plane and just seeing the whole plane to yourself. I can sit anywhere,
Right.
anywhere. That's
Yeah.
gonna be missed. R.I.P.
So, yeah. On that note, let's talk about travels. We have future travels coming up.
Our poll's done. We done with polls? I thought we had another one.
No, we only had
Two
two.
polls.
I must have been thinking something else.
Two polls.
Dos.
Paige, do you have any travels in regards to the next podcast?
Nope.
Okay. Next up.
How about how about any trips to Fremont? I miss when we would talk about her trips to Fremont.
free.
Because you and I,
Well, me and my dad are going to go to a tractor pull in a couple weeks.
Oh, there we go.
tractor pull. What's up? I miss the days when we would have travels and we would have, and she would just have a trip to Fremont. Those were the good old apartment days. Like back when the
Oh,
exit row was just
yeah.
a young pod. We were a young pod.
Yeah, I'm taking a travel hiatus a little bit. I won't be flying again until next month for Spot LAX, and I'm taking the A350. So,
Which all three of us will be there.
yep.
Justin, you got some travels. What's
So-
up?
So the recording of this right now is Monday. Wednesday morning, heading out to JFK.
Ooh.
Going to spend some time at the TWA hotel, which I am stoked about.
Welcome, brother. I've been
Dude.
there before.
I am
So-
so happy.
I
That's a
hope
bucket
you
list place for me for sure.
I hope you enjoy it.
The only thing I'm a little frustrated with is the whole reservation thing for the rooftop.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so yes,
That is
Um,
dumb.
it is
I'm
dumb.
going to say it right now. It's dumb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially coming as an H hotel connoisseur. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like, I
get on
get it,
their
'cause
level.
They have several months
TWA,
where you
what the
don't
heck?
have to do it during the winter.
Of course.
But like,
'Cause nobody's going to be
it's
up
just
there.
odd. Like, I'm sure it won't be a problem, but just the fact of the matter is, like, come on.
It
What are we
sucks. It's
doing? It's
and
very odd.
And
when
you can
I-
only stay up there so long, can't you?
It's an hour and 45 minutes.
yeah, and when I did it, they literally were like, "Nope, you can't come in yet." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And so I'm
It
just
is
waiting.
Very weird. Very weird. But I mean,
Strange.
luckily the rooms is back up. Got the legit rooms lined up.
Yeah, you didn't get like the room I got where I thought I had airport or I had the runway view, but I ended up looking at traffic. So I was like, "Oh,
I
this
mean,
is great."
Oh, great.
Regardless of plane spotting, I'm just stoked to see the TWA hotel. I've been wanting to see this place for so long. So I'm gonna be heading out there with exit row personality Randall.
What's up, Randall?
You know, we always like to do like an annual father-son trip. We did Alaska. We're
Last
going to.
Yep.
I think this year is going to be obviously the New York trip. But the reason around this trip is not necessarily the TW hotel, but Randall is knocking off all 50 states, which is a pretty big deal. If you're a traveler, you know that's a big
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
So he's knocking off 50, which is going to be done in the state of Maine.
That's
And
awesome.
So we will be going north. Going to take the Acela, the Amtrak Acela, which is a like 110, 120 mile an hour train between
Ooh.
Boston and New York. or I guess in this case, New York and Boston, and then going to drive on up to Maine.
Planes and trains and automobiles.
Hopefully hit a Red Sox game. Deborah's got other plans. It's coming up the East Coast. So we're going to have some talks with Deborah. Hopefully she just chills a little
Right.
bit. But anyway, yeah, so I'll have something to talk about here next time we see each other.
Heck yeah. I hope you guys enjoy yourself.
No, rain or shine, it's the TW Hotel. Like, I'm so stoked to see this finally.
Pinnacle.
I hope you enjoy. Myself, I'm headed to Omaha, or not Omaha.
Oh!
No freaking way! What?
Sweet.
When?
Holy crap.
Wow.
I'm here.
We're gonna have to catch up when you're in town.
Yes, please. Seriously.
Me up when you're
It's
here.
been forever, right?
I'm going to Omaha. Sorry, no, you can't say your travels. That's it.
It's hilarious.
Sorry.
You're done.
Um,
Canceled.
so I'm going to take Allegiant. I'm trying to knock out all those airlines this year.
Unfortunately, that means taking airlines like Allegiant.
Allegiant, right? I'm
Yeah,
headed
in
Allegiant
spirit.
to Mesa, Arizona. Going to
AZA, right?
AZA.
The Phoenix knockoff.
Yes. And then I have
The
three
Timu Phoenix.
3 hours on
That's what all
ground.
the Allegiant airports are. They're knockoff city airports.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also do fly into Vegas. So
Ah, that's
Right.
true.
But the majority of them are
Yeah.
like the weird knockoff.
yeah, like
cities.
Orlando, they go to
Yes.
Sanford.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Or if you look at their website from Omaha, you can either go to Sanford, Orlando, or you can go to like Daytona Beach / Sanford. Like it's the same airport.
They do fly LAX nonstop here too.
That is now going away.
Right, but you still can.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So I'm going Omaha to Mesa, and then I'm going to be 3 hours on the ground trying to Uber back over to Sky Harbor. And
3
I'll-
hours boots on the ground.
Sky Harbor, back Delta, Salt Lake City to Omaha. And yeah, it's a short time on ground, but I will be in Phoenix later this year for my birthday. So
I should have mentioned I'm flying Delta out to JFK. I'm flying Adama Air.
oh wow.
yes,
I
yes.
just figured you were gonna be taking American, but
However, if
That's
it's
on the way back.
you're
Gotcha.
probably taking what the Embraer.
A couple of Surges, CRJ 900s.
Yeah, you're taking the
Surges.
Surges. So.
I see a couple of Surge 900s.
Well, on that note, let's go ahead and close out this podcast with the social media train. Paige, where can we follow you on the social medias?
you can find me at Oma_spotter_page and my travel buddy Adventures with Aileron.
And you have a new.
I do have a new profile actually.
Tell me you're addicted to Instagram without telling me you're addicted to Instagram. Exhibit A, pages 7 Instagram profiles.
Oh, okay, that's an exaggeration.
A month from now?
But-
I think that's gonna be an
It might be
exaggeration.
true.
I am running out of things to make an Instagram profile.
I should probably just yield my time on the handle train to Paige because like she has more.
Oh, it's not
handles
going to
to
take
give.
that long.
We're gonna record. We have to record that.
Y'all are dramatic.
Just be a drop so she doesn't have to go through the 5-minute spiel every time.
Oh.
Yield my time to Paige so she can give another handle.
Anyway, Paige's Planes, my page where I showcase my 150 something model planes.
Boom.
Boom.
Justin.
At spotting.omaha. I might post once or twice. It is coming up on a year
Ooh,
since
yeah.
I posted last, so look out. I might post.
Get ready, he's gonna post.
Oh, don't say that. I said maybe. I said maybe. I'll post
Speaking
stories.
it into
I'll
existence
post
now.
on stories though.
And you can follow me, Photography by Adama D, on the Instagram. You can follow us at the Expo Pod on Instagram, and follow us on YouTube and Facebook.
Spotify and Instagram.
all
and
the
everywhere.
all the things. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Please leave comments, and we hope to hear
Talk
from
about
you guys.
us, and maybe we'll talk about you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey. And if you
That's
want
okay.
if you ever want to ask us questions that we might
Don't.
bring onto the podcast, let us know. Okay, it's time for us to go because Justin is just going crazy with
Want to talk
this.
about raw dogging? Hit me up. No, actually, hit never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
On that note, from us 3 in Omaha, Nebraska, thank you so much. Y'all, safe travels.
Adios.
Bye.